Have you ever just stopped and thought to yourself, wow, I am way too young to be this tired? Or, you look at your birthday on the calendar and there's this huge gap between that number and how old you actually feel inside? Yeah, if any of that hits home, you are in exactly the right place. We're about to get into a really powerful idea that explains why so many of us are feeling this way. Okay, let's just dive right in. How is it possible that people in their 20s, the decade that's supposed to be all about endless energy and figuring things out, are already feeling the weight of being, like, 40? It's a really strange thing, but it's also incredibly common. And it doesn't stop there. It actually seems to get more intense. People in their 30s who are supposed to be hitting their peak, right, in their careers, in life, so many of them are reporting this deep exhaustion that you'd normally associate with someone who's 60 and getting ready to retire. So what on earth is going on? Well, here it is. This is the big idea. It's not that your body is suddenly speeding up time or breaking down. It's that the world we live in today is aging your mind, your emotions, way, way faster than your body. So let's unpack that. Let's talk about this new pace of aging, because we kind of have to throw out the old rulebook on how we measure getting older. It's just not about the calendar anymore. For generations, aging was pretty simple, right? The metric was time. The more years that passed, the older you got. Simple. But today, the new reality is that aging is driven by something else entirely: stress. Stress has basically replaced time as the main thing that makes us feel old. So the question is, where is all this stress coming from? Well, for starters, there's just this feeling of constant pressure. The pressure to succeed, to be better, to be productive 24/7, to build your personal brand, to have the perfect relationship, the perfect house. It is a weight that just never, ever seems to lift. On top of that, there's the constant noise. And I'm not just talking about loud sounds. I'm talking about the digital noise. The pings, the notifications, the emails, the breaking news alerts, the endless scrolling. Our brains literally never get a chance to be quiet and just recover. And all that noise just fuels this trap of constant comparison. Every single second, we are bombarded with these perfectly curated highlight reels of everybody else's lives, their amazing careers, their perfect vacations. It sets this impossible standard that just leaves you feeling like you're always falling behind. And then you wrap all of that up in this big blanket of constant uncertainty. Economic worries, social changes, global crises. It feels like the ground is always shifting under our feet. It's almost impossible to feel truly secure. So when you take all these things, the pressure, the noise, the comparison, the uncertainty, and you mix them all together, you get a very specific kind of exhaustion. And it turns out there's a name for this feeling, and just being able to name it is a huge first step. It's called emotional aging, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the phenomenon where all that chronic, nonstop stress for modern life makes your mind and your spirit feel worn out way, way beyond your physical years. Now, let's be super clear about something. This has nothing to do with getting wrinkles or gray hair. This isn't about physical aging at all. It's an internal feeling. It's a mental weariness, not a physical one. So, what does emotional aging actually feel like in your day-to-day life? Well, it can look like burnout. A deep burnout that a good night's sleep just won't fix. Or maybe it's a kind of numbness where you feel disconnected from things you used to really care about. And ultimately, it's just this profound, soul-deep fatigue. So, what's the big takeaway here? How are we supposed to think about this feeling? This is all about finding a new way to see yourself and what you're going through. Just let that one sink in for a second. You're not old, you're overwhelmed. This isn't some personal failure. It's not a sign that you're defective or aging too fast. It is a completely logical response to a completely illogical amount of stress. So the next time you feel that deep weariness, maybe the question isn't, why do I feel so old? Maybe the real question is, what can I do to feel less overwhelmed?